Hi, and welcome to Cosmic Consciousness with Cassia. On this channel, we discuss all aspects of the Ascension process. I have a variety of services that I offer to assist in your awakening journey, and you can find those listed in the description box below. Today, we're going to be doing the daily reading for Friday, April 9th, 2021, and today is a day that's ruled by the solar plexus chakra and guided by elegance. And the galactic signature today is the yellow crystal WARRIOR energy. And so we're going to call it the W energy for short, since that is a word that I believe is not PC to be spoken these days. So the W energy. So the yellow crystal W energy is all about questioning, intelligence, and fearlessness. And so when we're embracing this energy today, what we're being asked to do is to question everything in our reality. The yellow W energy is not satisfied with half-truths. It wants to know the whole truth about everything. And this doesn't just apply to the outer world. This applies to our inner world as well. So questioning ourselves, questioning our motivations, questioning our perceptions, our biases, questioning the way that we view the world, and of course, questioning the world around us. We want to gather all the information and we want to be fearless in our approach to this. And this is what makes the yellow W so formidable. Right? Is this ability to question their fears as well and to walk through those fears. So we're being asked to walk through fear today, anywhere where we feel that popping up in our reality. With this crystal tone, which is all about universalizing and dedication and cooperation, we're being asked to universalize the knowledge and the answers that we find through our questioning to make them applicable to the whole. This is another energy that is very much concerned with the collective, and especially when we're utilizing this crystal tone, which is very much about that cooperation. So get together with people today, have that round table, have these questions, these answers, these discussions, right? And be open-minded to what comes up, to what transpires when different minds come together. The only thing more powerful than a brilliant mind is a group of brilliant minds working together. And so this is the energy that we are being asked to embrace today. The affirmation for today is, I dedicate in order to question, universalizing fearlessness. I seal the output of intelligence with the crystal tone of cooperation. I am guided by the power of elegance. So I really like this energy, and I really like the guidance for today as well. It says, focus on your inner voice as you walk the path of the cosmic question mark. Advance toward your fears. Be the W of grace, right? So really utilizing that energy of elegance as we move through today as well. And we are just out of the portal energy now. The final galactic activation portal for this week was, or actually this month according to the galactic calendar, I don't see any more portals, so they're going to give us a bit of a rest here as far as this goes, was yesterday. And yeah, I apologize. I needed a lot of rest yesterday. And so I was doing a lot of that in between obligations. However, I was, of course, thinking of all of you. And yeah, that's all about that. Astrology for today. We have the moon still in the sign of Pisces, which it was also in yesterday. And I want to look here. So we have we have the moon conjunct Neptune with a sextile to Pluto today. So this is a very psychic energy, right? This is an energy that is helping us to see from that more psychic perspective, from that higher perspective, to really tap into our intuition today, to tap into that inner knowing, right? So really ask yourself those questions today and ask source the answers, right? Really connect with source today. We have an incredible ability to do that and get the answers to some of these questions. And the answers may surprise us, right? But we have to be open to what those answers may be. This energy of questioning is so important. And it's important when we're looking at the world around us because there's a lot of things that want to be presented to us as fact. Are they really fact, or are they simply one other person's perspective? Right? There's a lot of illusion that we are unraveling right now, and a lot of illusion that is being presented to us as reality, as truth. And so it's our responsibility to question that. It's our responsibility to gain that information. And yes, there are many sources we can gain, many ways that we can question through the outer world if we really make use of our resources. But the greatest resource that we have is in here, right? And so really going within today for those answers, going to source for those answers today, and just seeing what comes up. We may get some really interesting stuff today. We also have the moon in a square to Mars. And we have, of course, Mercury still conjunct Chiron. And so we want to be just a little bit careful when we're communicating today. We can be feeling with that Mars square moon energy, there is a little bit of that, that volatility that could develop, because we are feeling a little bit emotionally riled up possibly. And so we want to just take care around that, take care of course, just like we do every day, paying attention to where it is that we are triggered and what it is that we can do, what it is that we can learn from that, question that, right? Really step into that energy of the yellow W and see how it is that we can question what's coming up within us. And if you guys want assistance with this, please reach out to me. All of my information is in the description box below, along with my email. So that's the major energy. We are in the warm-up for the new moon. So I encourage you guys, if you haven't checked out the new moon video yet, to do that. It should be still easy to find in the videos list. If it's not, you can always go to the Astrological Ascension videos playlist. And the new moon video is in there. Because just a lot of really powerful activation energies coming up. Our life purpose, really putting into practice a lot of the things that we've been learning along the way, as far as our empowerment, as far as our ability, right, to stand on our 2 feet, to actualize our dreams. And so just being heavily supported by the energies of this new moon to do that. It's really, really beautiful, exciting energy. And a lot of the astrology that we would talk about today is that same astrology. We do also have today true black moon and Uranus conjunct. So this is just adding to that fiery energy. And just once again, asking us to be aware of what is coming up, of the ways that we may find ourselves wanting to rebel today, and making sure that we are rebelling in a way that is constructive, right? Constructive rebellion. All right. And that was probably a word that I should have spelled out too, but whatever. Okay. So we're going to pull some Moonology cards to get started here. Clear. All right. What guidance do we have for today? April 9th, I believe I said it was, 2021. And these are, we're doing the astrology and all of the daily energies as far as the galactic calendar and all of that goes. But at the same time, time is an illusion, and everything is fluid, right? So if you have stumbled upon this video after the date, the information coming through today may still be very relevant for you. So don't get too tripped up on the dates. All right. Let's see. First card out, work through your fears. Yeah, so lining right up with that yellow W energy, right? What fears are still present within you that are quite possibly still dictating your reality in some way, shape, or form? What fears are coming up right now as you are moving more towards your purpose, as you are developing the energies, right? We have some action going on with the North Node as well. And as I was reading it this morning, I was like, I don't know if I put that in the new moon video or not, but we have some action going on with Saturn, Mercury, and the North Node. And so we're very much moving towards, and it's not just our purpose, it is our purpose, but the North Node is also the energy that we came here to refine in this lifetime. The energy that when we refine this energy of our North Node, it helps move us toward our purpose. And so anyway, where we are moving more into those energies that we were meant to experience and cultivate in this lifetime, there are going to be fears that pop up. Anytime we're moving more toward our purpose, right? There are going to be fears that pop up. That's the whole point. It's all orchestrated that way so that we must face those and understand those and heal those fears, right? Overcome those fears, walk through those fears. And so there's a lot of energy. It's work through your fears, and I'm feeling walk through your fears too, right? Because we can't necessarily always, sometimes the way that we resolve our fears is by walking through them, even though we're still afraid, right? And then once we walk through them, we realize that they weren't as big as we thought. and that they're much more manageable than we thought, and things aren't as scary. It's the anticipation of things that is scary. So really that energy of walking through your fears today, but working through as well. All right, working through by walking through. And then we have your dreams need a practical plan, full moon in Taurus. With a new start is coming, new moon. And that's that new moon energy that we were feeling, you guys, right? Yeah. And so this is what we want, this energy of moving toward our purpose. In order to get there, we need to walk through our fears, right? And we need to make a practical plan moving forward. And that's a lot of that Saturn energy coming in, right? Is what is the plan? What can we do? What are the constructive actions that we can take when we're manifesting, right? When we're creating. We don't just put our intentions out there and do nothing. There's action on our part that's necessary as well. So are we taking that necessary ACTION, right? Are we doing little things, taking little steps toward our goals, right? Do we have some sort of vision of how we can get there? And yes, we always keep that open to revision, right? We keep our vision open to revision, right? To divine revision. However, we need to be doing something. We need some sort of practical plan moving forward. So it's really, those are the two things that Spirit is wanting us to work on today. As we move toward this new start, work on your fears, make a practical plan, right? Just what are the practical actions that you can take? And then we have nothing is yet set in stone, mutable moon. So there's a lot of energy here. This new start, it is not defined yet. There are a million different ways that this could look and a million different ways that this could go. All possibilities are possible, right? And so like this new start could look like anything. Nothing is yet set in stone either when it comes to your manifestations. Your manifestations may be on the way, but it's not a guarantee that they're going to arrive if you don't take the necessary action, if you don't do what's necessary on your part. And part of that is overcoming and walking through these fears. Part of that is making this practical plan, right? Taking these concrete steps. There's a lot of different pieces at play. And so it's like the universe needs our active participation. Is kind of the energy that I'm feeling right now. And this is also, when I get this card a lot of times, it also makes me think and feel that if there is a situation where you feel as though you know exactly how it's going to turn out, and especially if that is a situation where you kind of have a negative outlook on it and you think you know exactly what's going to happen and it's not going to be good. You want to get rid of that thinking because nothing is yet set in stone. It may not transpire the way you think it's going to transpire, right? So get rid of all of your preconceived notions about how things are going to pan out, and that opens you up to more possibility. And just know every little choice you make, every little thing you do helps to shift that energy. And that's why it's so important for us to stay in a positive mind state. And then we have don't let your pride get in the way, and adjustments are required. And so there are some adjustments that are going to have to be made, but this is actually a positive card. Adjustments are required, and this is third quarter moon. So this is when our manifestations are moving in like they have some trajectory, right? This isn't the first, this isn't the second, this is the third quarter moon. So we're almost through this cycle, right? And so this is an energy of what needs to be released when we get into the third quarter moon. What needs to be released that is still sort of standing in your way of your manifestations? What is no longer serving? And with this being paired with the don't let pride get in your way, there may be pride and ego that needs to be released. Right? For some people too, with this Leo energy, there could be issues of confidence or worthiness that need to be released. But definitely a lot to do with the pride and the ego. So look at where your pride or your ego may be getting in the way of what it is that you're wanting to create, right? Or where other people's pride and ego as well. Where there's a lot of issues of pride and ego, I think that maybe in some situations here coming up on both sides of the fence. And so it's really knowing that and paying attention to that and paying attention to how that's being mirrored, right? A lot of times we look at somebody else's pride and ego and we fail to see that they're mirroring back, and there's an aspect of our own pride and ego that's being engaged. And so we want to disengage that. We want to just really look at and pay attention to that. And that's this energy of staying open-minded, right? of learning how to agree to disagree with people, of learning how to accept that the way that we think things should be done isn't necessarily the way that all other parties view a situation. So being open to that constructive conversation as well. Yeah, interesting. And then on the bottom we have step out of your comfort zone, the North Node energy. Any other energies here? Any other guidance here? What do you need to release? Yep, just like we said, right? And then a new romantic cycle begins. So more of that releasing energy, just what we were talking about, right? And then for some people, there is a new romantic cycle, but this card also indicates a fair and balanced outcome. This is the compromise, just what we were talking about, right? Agreeing to disagree, seeing different sides of situations, releasing the idea that you know what is best, and allowing yourself to be open to other ideas as well. Just if we can be more gentle and if we can come at people with a different approach, sometimes that will shift an entire situation. So it's just learning that art of compromise, learning that art of balance and fairness, and knowing that an outcome or a situation is moving toward being resolved. I feel almost like there's a mediator energy here. So some people may want to call in a mediator to a situation, or somebody with an outside perspective that can come in and bring their perspective to whatever it is that's going on right now. Yeah, so that's all very interesting energy coming through. That's going to be, I think, specific to some people watching this. And then time to give rather than take. So this is that energy of being generous, right? Of not looking at what you can gain from a situation, but what you can give to a situation. Of really shifting that perspective and just knowing that there are other people who have needs as well. And possibly taking the focus more off of the self and putting the focus onto others right now. Yeah. Where is it where other people's needs and security are feeling THREATENED, right? Where is it possible that is happening? How can you see things from their perspective, and how can you make them feel more safe and more comfortable? Sometimes that's all people need in order to open up and to release, to stop being so defensive, is to feel safe and comfortable. So how can you make somebody else feel safe and comfortable today? And then we have luck is on your side, new moon and Sag. So a lot of new moon energy coming out here with a couple full moons. And a lot of releasing energies. Yeah. But luck is on your side. The situation is favored. Things will work out, is the energy coming through here. All right, do we want to pull anything else to close? I actually do want to grab a couple of these. These cards are fun. Clear. The Wisdom of the House of the Night cards. We're in a very moody kind of card with all the moony energy, the moonology, the House of the Night deck. I guess I'm feeling that energy today for us. All right, any additional guidance here? April 9th. Whoa, okay. So we have listening. And then we also have rigid. Okay, so here we go. So there's a couple different things here. First thing with this listening card is just what we were talking about. So this reminds me of another quote that I like to use, which is seek to understand rather than to be understood. So today may require some listening on our parts. Instead of waiting for our turn to speak, we want to listen. We want to really understand where other people are coming from, and we want to avoid becoming too rigid in our thoughts and our beliefs and our expectations of people and situations, right? That's where this nothing is yet set in stone energy comes in. But this is also with this listening card, it's also about paying attention to the things that aren't being said, right? Like, don't pay attention to the words. This is paying attention to the actions. This is paying attention to the energy underlying situations. This is what we want to be really cognizant of today. And with this psychic energy, with the moon making this conjunction to Neptune, as well as this sextile to Pluto, there is a lot of that energy which we can help us to see beneath the surface of things. If we really tap into our intuition, if we don't really tap into our intuition, that moon conjunct Neptune energy can really produce even more illusion. However, if we tap into our higher minds, right, into our deeper intuition, it can, especially with this sextile from Pluto, which really helps us to see beneath the surface of things, we can really get some valuable information and input. So we want to be doing that as well. And we are better able to read into those subtleties if we're not spending all our time talking, right? If we're spending more time in observation mode. So I'm definitely feeling that energy of us also being guided to be in observation mode. And yeah, with this rigid card, don't be so, trying not to be too rigid. Right? This is the energy of I know best. Things need to be done the way that I think they should be done, right? That's the pride. That's the ego. And then we have deceit. Yeah. All right. So this is an interesting message coming through here. Definitely an interesting message. There is an energy of, like, with the listening and the deception, the deceit card coming out back to back. There's definitely an energy here. In some situations, somebody is not being quite on the level. Somebody is not being 100% honest here. And so you want to be aware of that. You want to be aware of other people's motivations, their intents, and you just want to make sure that your intent is pure. Your intent is pure and you are operating in your integrity. So, because this could be us as well as another person, right? And this could be an area where we are deceiving ourselves, right? About a situation because we're not listening. We're not paying close enough attention to what's actually going on. We're seeing what we want to see instead of what's actually there. We're seeing what we expect to see instead of what's actually there. And so we want to pay attention to that, right? This is a definite energy that we want to be aware of. And we want to just loosen up our, this is all about us questioning our own perception, right? Which is definitely part of that yellow W energy. And really also, when we do feel deeply intuitively that something in our gut, paying attention to that as well. And then we have risk. And so this is like the Fool card, right? That's taking the leap. So that's interesting that that's coming out now. Let's get some more energy. What goes with this risk card? We have Oath coming out. Interesting. And Playful. Huh. So this is really interesting. What I'm feeling is as though somebody at some point, and this may be unrelated to the last message. We got a lot of different messages coming through here. Somebody at some point made an oath, a vow, or a commitment to take a risk at a certain time in your incarnation. And now is that time for somebody. Now is that time where you made that vow to take that risk, to take that leap of faith. And you're being asked to do that. And you'll know. If this message is for you, you'll know what this is talking about. And if you don't know right now, you will know at the moment, at the time, right? There will be something that sort of tells you, some sort of marker, some sort of something that triggers something in your greater mind, into your superconscious mind, your higher mind, and reminds you, helps you to remember. And I kept being drawn to the raven and the card above the rigid card. So for some of you, it may be a raven or a bird. It may be different things. We have a cute little kitten on this Playful card. It may not be it may not be an animal thing. It could be anything. But you'll feel it within yourself. You'll feel this remembrance coming up. That this is the moment, right? This is something that you agreed to come here to do at a certain point in time. And you're being asked to be playful. And this is card number 44. For some of you guys, it may be 44, right? There may be number signs. showing you how to move forward. We got 31, 49, and 44 up here as these 3 cards in this little spread here. Yeah, but it's this gentle, playful, this oh, you know what I'm thinking of too, which is really interesting with the kitten, right? A cat has 9 lives, right? She's getting ready to take that leap off the cliff there, figuratively speaking. Trusting that she'll land on her feet. There's like a nice, tell me more about this playful energy. It's not gonna, it's this, whatever this is that you agreed to do at this certain point in time. It's not something dangerous. It's not something like really, really scary. It's not like it's, complicated. It's complicated. And that's card number 11. So this is interesting. So we got 1144 here, 1144. Yeah, that is fascinating. It's not something, if it's scary, it's just because there are fears that you need to work through, right? That's the only reason. Like, and so they're asking you to be playful. They're asking you to take a gentle, playful approach here. And to this situation when this comes up. And like, you're going to want to be in this playful mentality because there's this complex energy to it. This is really interesting. And we got 2 new moons, 3 actually, because there's a moon on his chest as well. So this is really, what came up? Reminder. Okay. Don't make things so complicated. That's what that energy is saying. That's what the playful card is saying. Don't make things so complicated. When this happen, when this energy comes up for you, and you know, and you have that reminder, right? That cosmic reminder that you set ahead of time. I love how it says, don't forget here, that you set ahead of time, that would be sort of like a flag, that would sort of flag your consciousness and remind you, right? Like, this, you came here to do this. You agreed to do this. This is part of your path. This is part of your plan. This is part of your destiny. When you see that reminder, don't overcomplicate things, right? Stay in that curious, playful, kitten-like energy with it. All right? Try to keep, like, don't overcomplicate things, basically. I'm trying to complicate the message more than it needs to be complicated. Just keep it light, keep it playful. Don't get too in your head about it. You know, it's like when she's standing here, if she stops and thinks about this for too long, she's probably not going to take that leap, right? She's going to think herself out of it. She's going to talk herself out of it. So that's what that energy is don't talk yourself out of it. Don't let your fears talk you out of it. Yeah. So that's really fascinating. That's really interesting energy, you guys. If this is resonating for anyone and you want to get more deeply into this, please reach out to me. I would love to. This is real. I love it when interesting messages like this come through. All right. I love you guys. I appreciate you. I hope that you have an amazing day. If you liked this video, like this video. It definitely helps. Drop a comment. Let me know how today's going for you, how you're feeling as we warm up to that new moon. There are links down below to donate if you feel so moved to do so. I appreciate each and every single one of you. I love you so much and have a fabulous, fabulous day.